So back with another episode of the Black Culture Podcast. Price, that's my co-host, Willie Ashford, and his queen, Janae Ashford. DaBaby, make sure I'm saying it right, is back in the news again. In case you don't remember, a few months ago, he was in the news for some comments that he made while he was on stage at a concert. Not going to repeat the comments, but he got canceled in a sense. Guess he's back performing and touring now. But as of last night, him and his baby mom, DaniLeigh, were on IG Live going at it, which prompted him to call the police and I guess in some form remove her from his house and their 3-month-old baby. I must admit, when I saw it, bro, I was like, WTF, because I didn't know what's going on, man. And I don't know. I have my thoughts about what happened. Of course, we don't all know the whole story about what happened because they only shared their parts of it. But since we have I can't even call her, well, she is a special guest, but she's a recurring special guest. I want to give the floor to her to find out what her thoughts about that debacle was. So, Janae, when you saw that, what did you think? Where did your mind go to?
So when I first saw it, I instantly was on the woman's side, right? Because I saw her part first. I was like, no, he put her out with the baby, and that's just wrong. That's just messed up. So then I did a little bit more digging, and I saw his part, and then I was like, okay, well, dang, we really don't know what happened because his part sounded kind of good too, right? Like, she's tripping. I ain't want to do this. I ain't want to do that. So I decided to call the police and have her removed. And then you see like the video where he got the baby. So you're like, well, did he have her removed and he kept the baby? But then you got her saying that she with it was very confusing. But ultimately, I'm not taking a side because I kind of get it from both sides. Because you just never know. By us not knowing the whole entire story, like we do know that chicks can get crazy, right? Chicks can get very territorial. And whether you the side chick or the main chick or whatever, when feelings are involved, that's a whole different thing right there. And you talking about, she said, I'll post everything from the last 3 years that we've been talking. Like there's feelings involved, right? And so when you're hurt, you kind of liable to do some crazy stuff. If you're heartbroken and embarrassed because he done went on live and told everybody you ain't his chick, you his side chick, that's embarrassing. And then, we all know that guys can be just dogs, for the lack of a better word or term. Guys can be we're just gonna leave that right there.
No, go. you can say what you want to say.
I mean, like dudes can date just dogs, just scumbags, just trash. Like dragging these women, getting them pregnant, leading them on, all of this type of stuff. And then when they done with you, you gotta go. You ain't my chick. You the side chick. Like I don't know what you thought this was, and I don't care about who knows or how embarrassed you are. Like they don't care after they done with you, pretty much. So. That was a rough situation that should not have been on live, regardless of what happened. It shouldn't have been on live because it was too much.
Yeah, I agree. But by the way, did you go to her IG and see her story and all the pictures?
Yes, all the pictures from 2020. Yes, I saw.
Yeah, I saw that.
And to me, once I like I said, I seen her part first. So I just seen the fact that, she said she got a plan B sent to his condo and all of that, and then all of these pictures. But then when I was looking at his, to me, it seemed like that came from a place of trying to prove that we were talking and this is that and third. But I don't think the doubt was ever that they were talking. To me, he was just kind of saying like, you're not my chick. And those pictures she posted, that don't mean you was his chick. Like millions of side chicks can have pictures. That's just what happens, especially talking about 3 years of being a side chick. I mean, she probably did feel like she was the main girl by that point, and
she lived in the house too. Then,
yeah. But see, that'd be the thing. Like you talking about, there's a different level, right? When you talk about a person with money with a side chick and just a regular dude with a side chick, of course he gonna be, giving her a place to stay and all this other stuff because he can. But that don't make his feelings any more. Right? It don't mean he care anymore, or that you're his main chick just because he has the means to provide better for you than if you was just with some random dude who and you his side chick. That situation is a little bit different, but I don't know. It's embarrassing. I feel embarrassed for her, regardless of the situation, because we just don't know the real story. We just don't know.
Right. So I'm gonna let you go, Willie. I just want to read this one part, and it just says that he dated her in 2020. They split in February of 2021 after her song lyrics "Yellow Bone," "That's What He Wants," stirred controversy.
I don't know what that song is. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I've never heard it.
DaBaby.
So, yeah.
But so you as a dude, right? You got two type of girls, right? You have the girl and you have your girl. Right? Like your girl is like, no matter what, like, you know, this is my girl, and I'm not afraid if somebody know it. To me, he's making her, and she's coming off as somebody who's just another girl. Like, let's be honest. Like, first off, I'm not gonna say dudes are dogs. We do got some dogs in us, but I will say this: we are great at manipulating women.
Dog.
Like dudes, like let's be honest, we can spot out a weak woman, right? And we can spot out a not so weak, stronger woman. And we know we can get away with certain things with weaker women that we may not be able to get away with the stronger minded woman. And yo, bro, if you got a girl in your house around your family, you off and on, what make you think she not gonna think she's the girl? And I get it, like you look, because you had said she shouldn't have thought that too, right?
Well, I'm just saying, like, if there was not any clarity in their conversation, it's easy to
Talking to the mic.
It's easy to think that, you know, you are that main girl, right? If y'all spending all this time together and this is that and the third, and maybe at one point that's what he told her, but I mean, you just, I don't know.
My wife's gonna step away. My daughter is banging on the door.
Yeah, so hey, but yo, that's actually a significant point, because what you brought up as far as the manipulation piece. If you do so, women, period, and this would even work with a dude. If you keep bringing somebody around, especially if y'all got a kid together, she is gonna think,
yeah, she the girl. She gonna think she the girl,
that
right?
main girl. Yeah. So I mean, I can't blame her for thinking that, especially when you're in the position that you're in. You're a celebrity.
Like, she at the mansion, bro. She said she had her own side of the bedroom, of the room, of the
She got
bathroom.
her own closet. It said.
Yeah, like, come on, bro.
It said you got your own closet. So yeah, I mean, look, I've been in that situation before where I didn't make things official, and when she told me, or I should say, she expressed how she felt, and I didn't feel like that. In all honesty, I couldn't be mad at her for thinking that, because it's one thing where you stringing somebody along, and this individual, and it works on both sides too. This person thinks that you've committed to them, even though you haven't. So yeah, you're gonna have emotions involved, especially a new mother. Look, I'm gonna tell you something, and I know you can relate to this, Janae. I don't know if y'all watched Insecure, but there was a scene on there last week where a brand new mother with a newborn, probably a month, 2 months old. I never realized at that time period how high emotions run for a woman. So you're not just dealing with a girl. You're not just dealing with your baby's moms. This woman was pregnant 3 months ago, and she's got a 3-month-old. Dude, do you know how high her emotions are probably running right now? It's like, I'm going to say this real quick, Willie, and I'm going to let you get back to it. The thing that irritated me, one, this is his second child, not his first, so he done been through this rodeo before. The thing that irritated me, especially as a Black man, in a sense, you kind of have to protect that space, especially it being the mother of your child. One, I definitely want to put that on Instagram Live. I know why he did it, and I'll get to that point later, but you're dealing with a person that's in a completely different space, man. And as a man, your number one job, especially for the mother of your child, that new, is to be more of a protector. But I'll get into my point later. I feel like I interrupted you, bro. My bad.
But so I forgot what I was saying, but I think like, man, like as dudes, we know who we could manipulate. And my whole thing was like dudes, like we lead women on, and you have a choice. And definitely like with the power you got, like men, period, you got a choice who you lay down with, who you don't lay down with, right? Like it's a dangerous game. And I think that's the one reason where we say like watch who you lay down with. Like sex to me, it's like you really don't realize how serious that is. Definitely like with the emotions that everything involved. Like how, if let's be honest, we done been with women and that we done told you this, you that, then told them what they want to hear. You played a role, and then stuff like this happened, and you like wondering why now. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, DaBaby's going to protect his image, and I get it. Like I'm not mad at him for that. Like he's a celebrity, he got to protect his image, but at the same time, it's like you kind of, that's still the mother of your child, right? So it's like you protecting your image. First off, DaBaby don't have nothing, like the actual, not DaBaby, the actual, the baby don't have anything to do with this. It's like he had a video where DaBaby like, yeah, my child right here, like don't believe everything you hear. I just think, one, I hate that it's like you said, they businesses out there, and it's our people, like it's Black people at that, and it fit right into the narrative. But like as men, like it's a lot of things that we can avoid, that I feel like we continue to do the same thing. Like this probably could have been avoided if like just keep it real. Like we talked about keeping it real earlier, like being honest up front. We talked about that too.
Right, but also like you talking about they've been talking to each other for 3 years, right? Like,
and it's a baby involved too. That's a whole nother level right there.
Yeah. Hey, bro, can you push the mic away a little bit?
Yeah.
I just can't imagine, or like just think about, right? Like you literally act like the way that he acted was like as if he just had no feelings whatsoever for her. My thing be like, dudes just flip a switch so fast. Like you talking about 3 years that you'd have been laid up with me, I'm in your house, this and a third, and then all of a sudden I just gotta go. Like
he's shown that before though. I guarantee you that's not the first. Maybe we've seen it, but that's not the first time he act like that towards her. I guarantee that.
And that's as a woman, like that's where we got to take some responsibility with choosing the right type of people that we decide to share our bodies with, or our relationship with, or whatever. Like we have to take some responsibility. But when you think about the way that women go about things, as far as like, I think she made a post saying like I was blinded and in love. Like you really, we talked about this before, like how you only see what you want to see when you really call yourself loving a person. You just see what you want to see. You are, especially like, I know me, like I'm the type of person that try to see the potential in everybody, right? Like I try to find the good in people and try to see that. And sometimes that leads you into being heartbroken and things like that, because you want to see the good in this person so bad, despite what everybody else said. I think she even said something like, I should have just listened to the internet, with whatever rumors was going around about him and things like that. But that's, to me,
she didn't do her research.
I mean, she did. She probably not necessarily did research, but once rumors started coming out, which things start coming out once you start dealing with a person long enough, you start seeing stuff or hearing stuff, and then next thing you know, but you already in too deep, and you don't want to believe it because you're like, oh, I'm different. Maybe I can change this, because you see the potential in that person. And then again, like, so that just makes me feel kind of sad for like people who want to see the good in people who want to be in a relationship, and then they be out here heartbroken or turn into just this girl that's like a gold digger or whatever, because they done been heartbroken and seen the potential in so many people, and they done got played because they're a kind person or whatever.
So it's a precarious situation because going back to what you said, Willie, he was trying to protect his image, right? That Rolling Loud festival that happened in July. So that means if the baby's 3 months old, it was born in August. So his image took a massive hit this year, and then he became a father with her. And I don't know where their relationship has been. And things said that they broke up in February. So even though they broke up, they clearly were still, or maybe she was pregnant. Let's see. The baby was born in August. That means she got pregnant last year. So they broke up while she was pregnant, right? I know who she is. I'm not huge on having listened to her music, but I will say this. I was talking to a young guy last week and similar situation. He's got a kid with a young lady. In fact, he has one on the way. But he broke some stuff down to me where incident occurred and she ended up calling the cops on him because she had an episode. Now, I wasn't there. This is just what he told me. And so he's like, man, I feel like I got to remove myself from that situation. We do know that there are incidents where you being with the wrong person can get you caught up. And for him, because his image took a hit this year, that's probably why he went live, to avoid any further. Well, basically, I'm gonna just say it, to avoid getting canceled, because a lot of people still don't like him. I think 50 Cent brought him out on at a concert or something like that to kind of like say, this is my little bro, he messed up, let's give him another shot.
But does this situation today make his image look any better though? Like,
so
I don't think it does.
So what I'm saying is, I think the reason why he went live is to give his side of the story right then and there. Because here's the thing: after something comes out, if you hadn't jumped in front of it at that point until it calms down, it don't matter what you say. You're always going to look guilty, especially with him because of what happened in July. Like, if that story had came out, people would have just started blasting him without caring about what his side of the story was. So that's probably why he did it. Now, the irritating thing to me was that a baby was involved, an actual infant. Because I don't know, man. I'm just very protective of kids and whatnot. And I do not want my kid to be used as a scapegoat to the issues between adults. I feel like that should stay between adults. Like the whole video with him holding his kid and all that is like, come on, man. But at the same time, again, we don't know the entire story of how it played out. Video you sent me was apparently the morning after, no pun intended, right? But at the end of the day, here's my thoughts on this. Like I told you, 3 months, man, your emotions are running high. You knew before, because you've been through this before, how women are when they're a brand new mother. This is her first child. So at the end of the day, there's just things that you deal with in order to protect the sanctity of the family within that moment. Now, I get you not wanting to avoid further controversy, but I think that there's other ways for it to have been handled. And that was the thing that irritated me. So her whole thing with going on IG, posting all the stuff and all of that. Look, man, I think that situation should have been nipped in the bud previously, because it's clear that he didn't stop messing with her even throughout the course of the year if she continued to think that she was the one.
No, because she said, what she said was, they broke up, I guess, or he left her or whatever when she got pregnant. Then sometime during the pregnancy, got back with her. Then she had the baby and they've been living together ever since, according to her.
See, so. And it's like when you're in his position where you can, and I'm gonna just throw this out there, where you can potentially have all kinds of women, right? Just because of being in that position. You made a choice to stay with her. You made a choice to like, you could have said, okay, and I've seen this up close and personal. I have a friend, him and his kid's mother were not together when she told him she was pregnant. They never got back together, mind you. They never got back together. They co-parent. He lives in his house. She lives in her house, but they never got back together. That was a conscious decision. So if you chose that and you let her on, again, this is 3 months post-pregnancy. Emotions are still running very high. And I keep driving it home for anybody that's listening. Look, bro, if you get a woman pregnant, those first few months, hell, even the first year or two, woman's emotions are not going to be the same as before she got pregnant. That's just facts. There's a chemical reaction that happens inside of her body. I'm not going to go into any details. Look it up. But the girl that you met is a different person than the mother of your child. Period, point blank. And by that, I'm talking about the person she becomes, not her personality and what, just the person she becomes, because she's a new mother. And so there's things that you're going to have to understand. Leading her on is probably not the best decision for you, bro. That's
messed up too, because it's like, it is like the manipulation or the thing like that, because you got to think about like new moms, and then most of them want their family to work out. Most of them want that both parents involved and things like that. So you talking about y'all living together and y'all been together ever since the baby been born. So of course, you know, she thinking y'all got y'all little family thing going on and stuff like that. So that's just,
at that moment, she's extremely vulnerable, number one. And she's probably in a state of being weak emotionally because she attached herself to you in that moment. And to kind of put her out there like that, I don't know. I just personally didn't agree with that. You look like you got something to say about this, Willie.
No, I was still like back to the point where you were saying like he was trying to protect his image. I think it could have been a better way. He jumped out ahead of it, but I don't think it was like, you could tell he didn't meet with his team. He didn't meet with his, I don't even know if he has a PR person. He just, to me, going on live like that, just like, to me, that's what I mean. Like, it wasn't well thought out. You could have still jumped ahead of it and like thought it out. Like, maybe you don't have a PR person, like, but like actual statement, like, hey, this is this. But to me, you were more, yes, you protected yourself, but to me, it was more feed it into what she was doing instead of actually, hey, this is what's happening. You know, this is the situation. I'm not gonna speak on it no more after this. Like one statement, like that's why I was thinking. Like it really, to me, my opinion, it didn't really make his image look any better. And I think they still can use it. Yeah, he kept going. Like it should have been just a straight. You know, like when you get your PR team, hey, this is what we gonna say. This is a statement. After this, don't matter what she say. When I made our statement, this is what it is right here. Whether she keep going or not, this is my statement.
Did you hear the stuff he said at Rolling Loud, or did you read about it?
Mm-mm.
All right. So when you get a chance, read that, and that'll tell you the type of dude you're dealing with.
No. I mean, yeah,
he doesn't
I can
really
tell by the way he
think things
talked,
out.
though.
That's what I'm saying. So that type. So his mentality,
and that's why I go back to that. Didn't make him, to me, it didn't make him look any better. Like, listen, people, this, like, it's so important to have a PR team. Like, this is what it's showing me too. Like, you need somebody. Like, I never really understood like how important it was. Like, you need somebody that's very educated and strategic. Like, hey, this is what we about to do right here. Because just jumping out ahead of it and going off of emotions or off of like, clearly he needs a PR person.
Well, I agree with you 100%. But let me ask you this: was there enough time to do that in that moment?
If you have listen, man, at that, like you said, at that time, you got a window to say what you got to say. When she did what she doing, like clearly they was in the same house, so you know what she doing. Like, you call your team up, hey, get a statement together. Like, that's all you got to say. Get a statement together, this situation, and put it out there.
But you know what, too, what I was wondering, like, who decided to do this first, right? Because on the one video, you got him calling her the side chick and this is that and third, and then that's when she said, I post all of this, whatever, right? And then you look on her page and she got all of these pictures, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of make me wonder, like, did he start it, posting the stuff first? Or was it her idea? You know what I mean? Because that's from the video that I saw.
I don't know. That's a good question. It looks like it was his idea to go live.
And then that's when she started posting everything.
But I saw, Yeah, and then because she said that she was going to post that stuff in that video when he went live. So let's wrap. But here's my thing. Both of y'all, I want y'all to chime in on this. What is the biggest takeaway from this incident?
Go ahead.
I feel like the biggest takeaway is being mature about situations. Like the whole entire, it don't matter if you're famous or it don't matter if you just a regular person. Everybody don't need to know your business. Like that's just that. Be discreet about what you're doing or what's going on in your household and handle it like an adult. Just, privacy, because then when situations like this happen, just give people like us the opportunity to talk about it and give our little our little 2 cents on it and things like that. So it's like
good for content. Thank you.
Like the whole world don't need to know your business, and especially when children are involved. Like lead by example. And he had the one video where he talked about only reason why people know I got kids because I love my kids, I adore my kids. If you love and adore your kids, you would not want your the mother of your child to be embarrassed by the things that are happening. And yeah, they baby is little now, but listen, these videos stay around for forever. Okay, so this stuff can always be coming back up, and then it's like, you got a daughter. You need to be showing your daughter how she should be treated and respected by respecting her mother and treating her mother with respect and keeping y'all personal business off the street.
My final take is, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, watch who you lay down with. Watch who you produce with. Like, come on, like it's kind of getting kind of old. Like we constantly having this conversation, these topics. Like, watch who you lay down with. Like, remember, there's an outcome to having unprotected sex. There's an outcome to laying down with somebody. Like, use a condom. Like, protect yourself, man. And this whole situation to me is just could have been avoided from the beginning. And that's my final take on that one, man, because we weren't even supposed to be talking about this long, but it's crazy. Like this situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say one thing before you close out. So I'm gonna just go back to the point I made before about they had broke up in February, but clearly stayed together all the way up until this time. If you didn't intend on making a brand new mother who you are the father of that child, the main one, knowing you done been through this rodeo before, you should have made that clear up front. So my thing is clarify, because she's also in a position to call you out because of her fame. It would actually also be worse if she wasn't famous. But that's my final take. Be clear about what you want and communicating that to the person, whether you want to be in a relationship with them or not, but also as a man, the mother of your child. That's my take.
All right, man. Once again, everybody, thank you to my lovely wife, Janae Ashford. Price, thank you, man. Thank you for the people. We the people. Thank you, guys. Thank you for sticking with us. Continue to watching our videos. Continue to like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Get the word out about the Black Culture Podcast. We closing in on a full year, y'all. We getting close to a full year. 4 years. Crazy, man. Looking back at it, like where we started from, we've came a long way. We've learned new things. We learned how to work this, still learning how to work this social media thing. So thank you to everyone that's been patient with us, that's been rocking with us, that's been riding with us. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok at the Black Culture Podcast. You can stream us on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart.
There you go.
Yeah, got it. I am D. Willie Ashford. That is
Price.
Peace.